Hello, welcome to all. Today's topic is carbohydrate digestion and its absorption. Under the NEP BSc first semester, myself Dr. Pradeep Pandey, Assistant Professor of Zoology, Indira Priyadarshini Government Girls Post Graduate College of Commerce, Haldwani. Let's begin, dear student. Carbohydrates. What is actually carbohydrates? They are class of naturally occurring compounds and also derivatives formed from them, and they compose atoms of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen in the ratio of 1 ratio 2 ratio 1. Its general formula is CS2ON. C6H12O6 is its example, and it's glucose. Types. Carbohydrates can occur in three types in nature. First, simple carbohydrates, also we can say monosaccharide and single sugars like glucose, dextrose or blood sugar, fructose found in fruits, honey syrup, and all fruits fructose. Third one is galactose, a part of lactose in milk, present in milk. Simple carbohydrates, again there is another one is disaccharides, double sugars. It means they are made by joining of two sugar molecules. First, sucrose, table sugar, glucose plus fructose, made from. They occur in our home like sugar from sugar beets and from sugar cane. Second, maltose, malt sugar made from glucose plus glucose. They occur in germinating seeds and can use to produce malted beverages like beer, whiskey, etc. Lactose, one of the most common, milk, glucose plus galactose molecule can join and make lactose molecule. How the joining takes place? The process of joining of two sugar molecules is known as condensation by the removal of H2O and formation of alpha 1,4 glycosidic bond. As you can see in the diagram, glucose, one glucose molecule with the removal of water, another glucose molecule join and removal of water, and by the condensation process the two glucose molecules bond together with a single oxygen atom to form a disaccharide maltose, and the bond between them is known as alpha 1,4 glycosidic bond because it present in one carbon of sugar first and second and fourth carbon of sugar second. Another process is hydrolysis, breakage. So, hydrolysis can occur between sugar bonds, between their alpha 1,4 glycosidic bond by the removal of a bond between them. The disaccharide maltose splits into two glucose molecules with hydrogen added to one and OH to the other, or it will takes place in water. So these are two methods important for formation and breaking of sugars. Third one is category is complex carbohydrates, also known the you can say polysaccharides, many sugars. If more than two sugar molecules joining to each other with the help of 1,4 glycosidic bond and 1 alpha 6 glycosidic bonds also in branching pattern like glycogen. They are long chain of glucose molecules. They occur in animals, ठीक है. Liver and muscles can maintain blood glucose level. And as you all know, it's very important also, because whenever we are in extensive exercise, work, and also in fasting, the stored glycogen will break down into glucose molecules. Another one is starch. Long chain of glucose molecules occur in plants. They are like cereals, wheat, rice, corn, etc., legumes, beans, peas, or vegetables, potato, yams, etc. Fiber, there are two types: indigestible carbohydrate. They are mostly indigestible, and they can be two types: insoluble and soluble. Example are gums, mucilages, lignins, and they are very important. They make component of plant cell walls, and we can classify them according to their solubility. Whole grains, they can occur. Legumes, fruits, and vegetables, they are occur. This is the structure of glycogen molecule, where you can see the 1,4 glycosidic bond between sugar molecules, one carbon and fourth carbon, and second one 1 to 6 alpha 1 to 6 glycosidic bond between one carbon of one sugar molecule, and 6 carbon of second sugar molecule. Next, another structure of polysaccharides, it is amylose and amylopectin. You can see the bond formation between them, and also the linkage alpha 1,6 linkages. Digestion of carbohydrate. This is the digestive tract of human. It starts from oral cavity, mouth. You can also say buccal cavity, and towards the pharynx, and then esophagus, also known as food pipe. Then food goes to the stomach. Then it will goes to the duodenum, and then from the duodenum they will be go to jejunum, and then ileum. Small intestine, the duodenum, jejunum, and ileum all are part of small intestine, where digestion and absorption can take place. This is the flow diagram of digestion of carbohydrate. Dietary carbohydrate salivary amylase की presence में it can break down in polysaccharides, dextrin, sucrose, lactose, maltose. In stomach there is no digestion take place. In small intestine, in pancreatic alpha amylase secreted from pancreas, and it will secrete its juices to the duodenum, and bile salt also added there, so the acidity of the stomach can remove, and the food and the chyme, you can say the food is now known as chyme, and it becomes alkaline due to of the bile acids. This is the flow diagram. Another one, the digestion of dietary polysaccharides. You can say salivary digestion of carbohydrate takes place in mouth also, where salivary amylase can initiate digestion, and it can digest interior alpha 1,4 glycosidic linkages and provide 3 disaccharides: alpha limidextrins, maltose, and isomaltose. Another one is pancreatic juices. Then food goes down to the duodenum, where the bile secretion and pancreatic juices secretion, pancreatic amylase, you can say pancreatic alpha amylase, initiates digestion, and it also digests interior alpha 1,4 glycosidic linkage, and the like this starch can provide alpha limidextrins, maltose, and isomaltose. Interesting thing is that this is done by the pancreatic amylase, and it works in pH 8.8. Now the food goes down to the intestine, like in ileum part, from duodenum, and now there is 6 juices secreted from succus entericus, mixed with this remaining part of carbohydrates, and it again breaks down remaining polysaccharides and sometime and most of time remaining disaccharides like alpha limit in the presence of alpha dextrinase change to glucose. Maltose sugar change into glucose plus glucose molecules in the presence of maltase. Isomaltose in the presence of isomaltase, glucose plus dextrin. And same time trihalase is in the presence of trihalose, glucose plus glucose molecule, and lactase in the presence of lactase, glucose plus galactosidase. It is not showing here. Now we have three types of molecules now available in the form of monosaccharide in the small intestine where absorption of carbohydrates takes place. These are in intestine there is a intestinal epithelial cells also known as Bruch's border epithelium, You can see this is the figure showing absorption of carbohydrate. So the end product of carbohydrate digestion is glucose, galactose and fructose, and sometimes mannose are also there, but most of time glucose, galactose, fructose. So this is the typical structure of intestine. You can say ultrastructure, where you can say this is the intestinal lumen where the digested foods are available, and other different kinds of ion are also present. And this is the Bruch's border epithelium, you can say the outer lining, and there are some channel proteins like SGLT. One channel protein is SGLT, sodium dependent glucose transporter. Another one GLUT5. It is known as it is used for facilitate diffusion. Another one channel protein available is basolateral area and known as GLUT2. So the end product glucose, galactose and fructose will absorb from all these channel proteins and some time, and the mechanism work behind this is diffusion. You can say simple diffusion. Second one, facilitated diffusion. Third one, active transport. Now the active transport is interesting thing. You can say the basolateral area there is a term written primary active transport, where a sodium channel protein works. Sodium potassium pump is working. It working like 3 sodium. They are outing 3 sodium molecules and taking 3 potassium molecule, and ATP providing energy, and it changes to ATP and PI. So this primary transport is very essential for absorption of carbohydrates, because this primary active transport always maintaining low sodium level inside of the enterocyte or mucosa cell, where by this mechanism the sodium molecule from the lumen can travel against the gradient. It means sodium concentration now is very much in lumen and it is going down to the enterocyte due to of the sodium potassium pump. Now then sodium will travel down to the gradient, and same time from the sodium dependent glucose transporter, the glucose galactose molecule can also travel with sodium, and this is also known as sodium co-transport, same also known as secondary active transport. And another glucose, some glucose molecules, 10% glucose molecule directly can absorb from higher concentration to say to lower concentration due to of the diffusion. So diffusion is higher transfer from higher concentration to the lower concentration. And interesting thing, another mechanism is fructose and mannose. This is the GLUT5. Then fructose absorbing via facilitated diffusion. What is the difference between diffusion and facilitated diffusion? Facilitated diffusion needs channel protein. So fructose is coming toward the enterocyte or mucosa cell. Now the concentration of glucose, galactose, fructose are increasing in the mucosa, and again they will go down to their concentration gradient from GLUT2 from via facilitated diffusion and to the interstitial fluid, and then from interstitial fluid to the blood stream. So in this mechanism via diffusion, facilitated diffusion, primary active transport, secondary active transport, collectively we can say active transport, via three methods carbohydrate absorption takes place. Thank you very much.